back, everybody. I am Coach Ty, and I'm here with the amazing Coach Lori, and we have a special guest with us. This is Candy. We're going to introduce her later, but this entire episode, she's going to be telling us her fitness journey. And for some of you guys who are wondering, her fitness journey might not have started when you might think. It may have started a little bit later in life, but she's obviously made some amazing changes with her own health and her fitness, and it's always nice to hear someone else's story. So, with that said, welcome. Thank you for taking time to be in here with us on the show.
Yes. All right. So you're further proof, Candy, that age is simply a number. Strength has no expiration date. Your journey full of travel, courage, resilience, both inside and outside the gym is going to inspire everyone who watches this. So we should just jump right in, Coach Ty.
Let's do it.
I love this.
All right. So, there we go.
Now we're ready.
Now we're good. So, guys, seriously. So, question number one. Let's start from the start. How old were you when you started doing CrossFit? And what was it that made you start?
It was totally random. I was 63 years old.
60.
I had retired, and a friend of mine gave me some money for my birthday, and Coach Tim was doing the Groupon at that time.
Oh,
for $25. You get 4 sessions.
4 sessions for the
Yeah, and I tried it, and I liked it, and I never quit.
So really quick, I know it's not usually nice for us to ask your age, but what's your age now?
77.
So 77, you started this when you were 63.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it how long? That's amazing. So let me ask you this. Since you started, obviously, we're going to get into some of these questions, but 63, of all the things that you could have started, what was it that made you want to use that money to get a CrossFit Groupon, like as opposed to doing something else?
CrossFit seemed to be the best across the board workout. I had been in a profession where I was on my feet for 12 hours a day, and that's a lot of exercise. And I wanted something that would challenge me that I didn't have to do for 12 hours a day.
Wow. So you were looking for something that would challenge you. So you obviously didn't want something easy. And then you said that it had to kind of make it almost feel like you were doing that amount of work that you were used to doing. That 12-hour work squeezed into a much more condensed time frame. That's how you came up with all this? It's
I just came and I just really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And my daughter had, started CrossFit down in Ventura, and she said it was really good for me and that I should do it.
Okay, so there's a little bit more. Okay, so then we had a daughter. Okay, yeah. So we had a daughter also. So what came first? Did she mention she was doing CrossFit, which caused you to do the research, or did you already hear about CrossFit prior to her?
I heard about it prior to her, and Tim had posted a sign out there so that when you drive by,
you were here before me.
Yeah, the Groupon,
Yeah.
So we kind of both learned about it at the same time. She started her classes sooner, but then she got pregnant, so she had to take a little break.
Okay, and obviously you kept going.
Yeah.
You haven't stopped. That's amazing. That's amazing. We got anything you want to add to that, Coach?
Well, I love it because one, it's 2 women not scared of strength training and hard work. You and your daughter.
Yeah.
And that warms my heart because I think next week the talk is about women in strength training and why people are still scared of it. So I love it for all the reasons. One, of course, Candy wanted to do something that was going to be hard work. She was going to look it in the face and bite his head off every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Did you start the Monday, Wednesday, Friday back then too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it was the drum barbell that switched you to Tuesday, Thursday?
No, actually, I wanted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Shelley convinced me that was not optimum.
Oh. Where's Shelley at right now? The doorway.
She said there should be a rest day in between. She said you'll get farther and you'll last longer if you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I switched to Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Shelley
with some decent advice, honestly, coming in.
And Shelley was already here.
Okay.
She's the oldest person.
She's the longest standing member of CrossFit San Ramon.
Yes, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have probably taken her advice at that time then too, and knowing exactly what she was talking about. Very, very cool. Now, I just want to add in one more thing. Did you? So I'm obviously we're gonna talk about this deeper. But when you started CrossFit, did you already have pains or backaches or any problems? Like, were you in perfect health, or did you come as you were? Like, I'm just curious. Everyone has.
I had no problems, but I also had no muscle mass.
You had no muscle mass.
No, my daughter used to laugh because she would love to. She was 40 years old. She would love to come and sit on my lap, and she said I had no thigh muscle. She said it just kind of moves over when I do that. And she said, you got to get muscles there. You just, these are so important to keep you active and getting you up out of the chair and out of the sofa. And she said, you don't have any.
So she called you out.
Oh, yeah. She said I didn't have any muscle mass.
Well, how do you feel? So obviously, when you started with no muscle mass, I'm just curious if maybe you can recall how long did it take until you started kind of feeling muscles and feeling the difference in your body.
I would say over a year.
It took about a year.
Yeah. Before I felt confident. I still knew what I couldn't do, but I felt much more confident in what I could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now over that year, also about just you doing, but could you tell a difference in your body as well? Like, were you able to do things better at home? Were you able to how was your overall life now that you had started CrossFit a part of
after the soreness after each workout?
Yeah, after that part.
Yeah, that took a while to go away. I don't get that anymore. Yeah. But I did the first couple of years. No matter what new muscle they chose to work, it hurt.
All right.
It took a while.
All right. I'm going to let Coach Lori ask the next question.
Right. So we'll move on to resilience. I love this topic. You've gone through a couple of tough personal moments like falls over the years, right?
Yeah.
I actually almost broke my ankle falling on something that was left in the street 2 nights ago in front. So we're all prone to falling at the right moment at the right time. Life has a way of testing us, right? That's what I think about when things happen like that. Do you think CrossFit has helped minimize the impact of those tests that life throws at you?
Oh, yes. I was able to recuperate much faster because I had some level of fitness going in. Yeah. I've fallen twice and I've had 2 surgeries in the last 2 years. And CrossFit has just saved me each time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, the last surgery, the surgeon, it was a lady and she got to pick her patients. In other words, she wouldn't do surgery on everybody.
Huh?
Yeah. And she interviewed me and she found out my level of fitness and she said she wanted me.
Right.
There you go.
Yes. And so CrossFit saved me even before the surgery. It got me the surgery because, she wouldn't choose anybody if she didn't think the outcome was going to be positive.
Wow. So she was playing for keeps or obviously minimizing failure on her end.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal.
That's huge.
Yeah. Can you imagine if people don't know that if they're obese or diabetic or they have high blood pressure and they go in for surgery and she refuses them?
That's a bad day.
That's a bad day.
Yeah.
This is a big deal because I think that more often than not, and especially like teenagers, 20s, early 30s, there's that sense of immortality and like no care for 50 years from now, right?
No.
Then certain points in life hit, whether you're a parent or not, or you hurt something, you recover, or you get an illness, and you're just like, oh my God, where would I be had I not been CrossFitting, eating right, taking care of myself, sleeping, traveling, enjoying life? We think about all the things that we do when we're on the verge of losing something, whether it be mobility from a fall or, something like that. And thank God that, we say this like CrossFit saves lives. Netflix programs save lives. We have all this stuff, and it's true. Absolutely across the board. You're likely the 20th or 21st person that has said that to me in the last 4 weeks that I've heard that like CrossFit or this program that has absolutely saved my life. So thank God for that a fall or a hardship or a really hard test to, where things are going in your life, it just does knock you down. You are one of the strongest women I know. You know that, right? And if I were that surgeon and I knew who you were, I would have messed with you. I'd be like, anyone in your family, I'm gonna take care of everybody. I'm not messing with Candy. So
No, Lori's right. And obviously, we all hold you in very, very high regards. And I feel sometimes that you don't give yourself enough credit because I don't think you know how rare of an individual you are to be able to be in this fight this long, keep on going. And so I remember, so I'm not going to get into too many of the details, but I do remember when you told me about your fall. This was a couple of Christmases ago. And I believe that there was an actual broken bone, right? Broken ribs.
Several.
And so, and I remember thinking in that moment, it was a shock to me because I've been doing CrossFit, but this is serious stuff. Like you, in my mind, you were an older woman. I was like, dude, this is probably the last time I'm ever walk again. Like, I was nervous that I probably wouldn't even see you here. And then many people aren't going to know this. I want to say that may have happened. What was that? December 2023 ish.
Yeah.
Around that time, and I think we were back walking almost in March.
Yeah.
And so I would say even that alone, like she was gone after this huge injury, broken ribs, and was basically told like any other person in her age group, that would have been it for them. That she was told. So she obviously bounced back. But then here's the other thing. She had the opportunity to be like, hey, Ty, I'm gonna hang up the hat. Like, and nobody would have batted an eye. And like, dude, you're fine. Like, no one's gonna judge you for that. And the fact that you were the one who was texting me, hey, when are we gonna start walking again? When are we gonna start getting out here? That's pretty special. And so, like I said, I still feel like you don't give yourself some of the credit, but I want like people to know like that's how much energy that she had. That even after a fall, the human spirit had been broken, and she was like, "Let's get right back on it." Like, geez, I wanted to hang out. I wanted to relax a little bit, but not even. No, but and so I completely love that. Like that's a very special thing, and I don't know where that comes from because not everybody has that. It's true.
Oh my gosh, the younger generations, my kids, the ones before my daughter, and then the ones coming up after, I'm just like, how are they gonna make it?
Yeah.
They're like, too tired to do X, Y, and Z, and you're like, this I'm gonna go to school, just like you have one thing to do in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
Or I'm too stressed to read a book. And this is not coming from my child. I'm just talking about it's not my daughter at all, but because she would watch this and be like, "Full House of Love." You'd be like, "We miss Lori now." She all God's kids. She opened her mouth. No, but I think people are afraid to do hard things, and because you chose to do something hard at 63, that fall and broken ribs didn't break you in your 70s, and what you're doing in your 70s is going to keep you moving in your 80s and 80s to 90s. And like this is what we're talking about, right? Like that's why one of the many reasons why you're exceptional and people should be watching this and like put down the bowl of Rice Krispie treats and get up and go exercise and do something. Like this is amazing. I love it.
And like I said, it is something that I wish that more people got to kind of see you because people have this image of CrossFit and they're like, I don't want to do it. This is too hard. I'm gonna look bad. And then I got someone like you who's like, you didn't know how to lift when you got here, right?
No.
You just stepped in.
Yeah.
And you just started doing it and learning and getting better and better and sticking to it. And it changed your life. It's a big deal. We're going to move on now. I got one more. I think, hold on. Did I do this right?
More questions?
Oh, yeah. I'm up. All right. So there's this common belief that as we age, we lose muscle and get weaker. But recently, you've been getting some of your strongest lifts ever. Now, how do you feel? This is from someone who isn't a science experiment, it's someone who's a real human being. How do you feel? Like, do you feel like that you're stronger now as you've been doing CrossFit, or do you feel like you've been getting weaker as you've gotten older?
There definitely is loss of muscle as you age. I have seen that in myself quite a bit. But the fact that I kept going with CrossFit really diminished that loss. It kept that I had a certain baseline of muscle development that still stayed, even after surgery. It was still there. Because the surgeon said, well, I want you to get up and walk around. And that was the day of surgery. And I had just woken up And she said, you can start now. So I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See a surgeon. Yeah.
Yeah. They get you up right away.
Yeah. So
And I couldn't have done that if I didn't have CrossFit train me.
yeah. Yeah. It's a big for all the women listening, especially because that whole sarcopenia that takes us through parts of the end of perimenopause through menopause and beyond. Like women just get look fat. And yeah, you know how we're trying
It's
to
real
build.
easy to gain weight.
It is. You try to build the lean muscle to burn the fat, right? And then the way we eat to be fat adapted or metabolically flexible to live off the stored fat and the good fats that we're eating. And women are so scared of that. They don't want to pick up a barbell. They'll inject something that is FDA approved for now, but we have no idea where the file's going to be in 5 years, if not sooner. And they'll do that, not realizing that you can be skinny fat, you could be thin, but high body fat and low muscle mass. And that's what you don't want, because then you wouldn't have had the surgeon do your life-saving surgery. How about that? Think about the long run.
Yeah.
You might be in a situation where you're not healthy enough to get a surgery to save your life, and that's how you've ended your life. Because you were scared to lift up weight, and you were scared to eat proteins and fats and do the right thing to feed the muscle and get rid of the extra body fat.
That's huge.
It's a big deal for women. We see it all the time.
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't like. I know that Lori obviously specializes in women fitness type stuff. She's been doing that since I've been here. She has all that kind of knowledge. So I'm not going to even add anything. It's the factual thing. I've heard her say strength training is where it's at, and obviously this is proof.
Yeah.
She's proof. Most of our females here obviously are strong as hell, so everyone's proof. But like I said, it is good to actually see someone who is defining what they've been told that, hey, when you old, basically hang it up. And Candy isn't done that. Candy's still getting stronger. Candy's still here every day. And that is something that people should obviously take is, hey, if I'm going to be in this life, clearly, I plan on kind of asking you this, but we're going to talk about it. You've been on this earth a long time now. Of all the things in life, where would you put health on the total bulk? I already have this question, but I'm curious.
Yeah, well, you can't do anything without your health. You really can't. If you don't have the physical conditioning and the strength to keep going, even to walk, you haven't got anything.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the thing is, so at the end of the day, for someone who, let's just say that they're 30 years old right now, where they're just chasing money, chasing a career, trying to get the wife and kids and all that, but they're saying, hey, I'll start working out later. What would you tell that person?
Well, I started really late. I would suggest to anyone, if they started earlier, it would be much better for them. They would condition their bodies sooner and they'd have fewer pathological conditions as they age.
Yeah. And they develop a love and appreciation for physical movement.
Mhm.
Right? Kids today are just like doom scrolling. I swear they'll sit there forever. They'll be at dinner and a group of people and they're texting each other. They don't even talk anymore. Like there's this whole level of just you watch them get ill by the because they don't move, they don't exercise. Most of them give up on sports or just play part of one. And that's why like watching Fortified and when they do a puzzle piece, right? They're working with young kids. Everybody knows the growth plate, like we talked about earlier, is bullshit and took 30 years to erase one really bad, not fact-filled study to tell parents that their kids would stop growing if they damage their growth plates or lifted weights. And now we're finally in what I call the golden age where we're entering it for nutrition and fitness, where we're like, forget what you've heard. I want to tell people that. Just erase all the myths that have come out that we know to not be true and just go lift heavy things to build bone and muscle, right? Because osteoporosis is another worry for everybody. Get your kids started young. Don't be afraid to let your kids move lightweight, but do it properly. So you've got Fortified CrossFit kids. They're doing deadlifts and snatches and different things. And they don't get hurt in the sports that they play outside of here anymore. Like you're building better, strong, capable bodies. And for decades, we've been told not to do that.
Yeah.
And it's mind-blowing, man. And then you watch like cancer and diabetes rise and age, if people are not living as long or the last years of their life are just complete hell and suffering. For what? Because we're scared of strength training, nutrition, and activity throughout our whole life instead of just, well, I'm too busy. I'm chasing the work dream and money dream, right? Like everybody's busy. We talked about this. No one can say that they're too busy anymore because no one in the state of California is not overly busy. And we just, it's the rat race here. Go to the South. It's not like that there. You'd be like, aren't you bored? And they're like, no, I'm just counting fireflies right now. Just my nightly routine. We don't even understand what a nightly routine is other than bouncing our kids from, fast food to piano lessons to home and homework. It's crazy. So starting sooner, like get your little kids loving fitness and activity and sport as early as you can. And you don't have to be rich to afford it. You can do all the rec center stuff for like $20. It's pretty cheap.
Well,
That's the best part.
Actually, I won't say his name, but my neighbor down the street has got a very clever solution. He's a bicyclist, and he practices in his garage on a stationary bike. And then he put up a large TV in the garage. And pretty soon he had his kid next to him on a stationary bike.
oh.
They were both watching the show, but they were bicycling to beat the band. So that man had figured it out.
You sometimes have to trick them. That was like the Nintendo Wii, where you're dancing with the stick in your hand to get points, and you're moving, or there's archery, or there's sword fighting. That's what made video games active again until it was taken out by Call of Duty or something else. Something else came on the scene, but
I remember that. I remember we used to play the Wii, and I remember that, like sitting there and I'd be like, dude, this is kind of hot in here.
seemed crazy.
Yeah, because you're right. Because you're hopping around, you're moving, and you definitely start sweating a little bit,
Yeah.
unexpectedly.
It went from like Atari, Harry Pitfall, and Pac-Man to just sitting to like sweating. And then for anyone else who can relate, I used to be like, I'm really good at dancing. And then somebody bought the Michael Jackson Wii dance video, and you have to follow the routines.
Are you serious?
And I was like, well, there goes my chance of ever going up dancing again. I never felt more stupid. And then, of course, you can see like your parents have mirrors around the house, so you're watching yourself trying to dance like the Black Eyed Peas was difficult too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember feeling not that good of a dancer anymore, but I still kept going and spinning. Yeah, staying active. The TV in front of the bike is a great idea.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Awesome.
Because a lot of times the weather isn't conducive to go outside and
Yeah,
and this kid could do it anytime.
That's what I'm going to say. It's like, it's almost like, okay, I know that my kid likes the screen. Let me find a way to still make it work.
Yeah.
Let me get him so that he's even if he needs that type of stimulus, let his legs start pumping too.
Yeah, music or movement. That is perfect.
So this part of the story, or this part of the interview, is going to get personal. So, but this is the fun stuff. This is it. So many people don't know this about you. Many people don't know that something that Candy's been wanting to do since she was
probably best.
okay, fine. I will just say that since she was young, she wanted to travel. I'm not going to talk about the whole story about what caused it and started, but she's been basically all over the world. And I am someone who's obviously been able to go on walks with Candy where she told me some amazing stories about some of the places. Times that she's been held at gunpoint at border crossings. Times that she's had to climb up huge mountains and these crazy hikes and the canyons, the temperatures. Times in the safari where there was an animal that ran to their path because he was being chased by another animal, but knew where there's humans that they'd be safe. Like all these kind of stories and things
that you're genius involved.
Oh my God.
So there's these are some very, very cool stories. So I just want you to talk about 3 of your most amazing experience. That said though, give them just a brief little rundown of the gunpoint situation because
That's crazy.
I was on a tour, a guided tour to Ethiopia. And it was the end of the tour, and they offered the option of going to view the Blue Nile. And you have to go across part of Sudan to get there. And Sudan is not the most welcoming place in the world. But our guide, he only had us 2 little old ladies in the back of his van. We were the only ones that wanted to go. And he spent a day at the government office getting the permits. to be able to transport us without problem. And we're driving along and we're stopped by a group of soldiers. And this little old lady and I, both of us in our 60s, going, what? There's nothing in our van. He had cleared out the whole van, so the soldiers couldn't find anything. They made us get out. They searched the whole thing. And then they started looking at our passports and us. And we are not exactly a threat to little old gray ladies. And the guy just said, don't speak. Don't speak. Okay, shut up. But you couldn't help but notice that none of their uniforms fit. This was like the paper boy who borrowed his dad's suit.
Yeah.
That's what they looked like. They were like in the 8th grade. But they carried very big automatic weapons, so you don't say anything. And they didn't find anything, and then they tried to shake us down for money to let us pass. And the guy wouldn't have it. He spent the whole day at the government office getting the permits, and he wasn't going to buy his way across the border.
Yeah.
And he had all these papers, and finally they said, all right, go. I don't think they could read, so looking at the papers was not a help.
Yeah.
But the fact that he had them and they were stamped saved us, I guess. But yeah, they just let us go.
That's crazy. So a lot of people, like I said, everybody who always, every time I hear people talk about, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like how things are done here. It's like most people have no clue what's going on.
No, not when you're faced with weapons.
Yeah.
And
How could that here?
they don't care. Like they literally would have taken everything.
Yeah,
If that man didn't have that confidence to like stand up to these guys, they'd have beaten them alive. So that was that experience. Let's start with a couple more.
right. I have a nuclear one.
Okay.
I'm like sweating again. Don't worry. I'm so glad you're okay. It's been like 10 years. I'm so upset.
I was on a tour of Mongolia, a very interesting country, vast and empty. And the tour company had relationships with various families, herding families in the area, and they would pay them to host us and talk about their life. So we would get a kind of a view of Mongolian life. And we were with this one lady, a little sheep herder lady. Her whole family was into sheep herding.
Oh.
And she said she didn't want the money from the tour company. And the guide said, but you're hosting everybody here at your table. And you're giving them food and drink. She said, no, I want you to build me a sheep corral. You have the manpower. You've got all these people on the tour. You've got the bus driver. She said, I have all the materials. I need a new sheep corral. You don't have to pay me for this, but build me a corral. I have learned how to build a corral without nails.
What?
Yes. We all pitched in. We carried the wood. They cut all the timber already. We had all the stakes, the shovels to dig the holes for the posts. We built a new sheep corral. Look at you.
That's a big deal. There's a lot out of that story to pull out. That's amazing. Number one, obviously, the fact that they saw value in leverage and not value in currency.
Yeah.
That's a very intelligent
She
woman.
wanted the corral.
Who obviously knew this would bring more value than that money ever will.
Yeah.
And I could get this done. And then not only that, just the fact that you obviously learned a whole new skill too. So she technically added value to everyone else's life as well.
We weren't in shape for that, though. That took us a while.
It's a lot.
Some of the older men couldn't dig the post holes. They just weren't fenced.
Really? So it was some real work.
Yes, it was. The drivers of the bus came and they helped dig the post holes. Again, it was very interesting.
Very cool. All right. So that's two.
Oh,
let's get some more.
Touring Egypt.
Go.
Back several years ago, they allowed you to go down into the tombs in the Valley of the Kings. And I forget which king it was, but of course I wanted to go, I'm claustrophobic.
Oh, no.
So I had to really think about it. But you get down there, it was a large room. I didn't feel claustrophobic at all. The stairway, the pathway to get down there was quite narrow, but the room itself was fine. And there was a gentleman Obviously, he lived in the area a long time, and he gave a little spiel about this particular monarch and the things on the wall. And he had really memorized a very nice educational in English speech. And, a bunch of people would go down there and we'd listen to his speech and then we'd go back and another. But while I was down there, I noticed my heart rate increased and my breathing became rapid. And I started to sweat. And I thought, what in the world is going on? And then it dawned on me there was no ventilation down in this hole. Nothing, not even a fan. And I started to laugh. I'm sorry if I offended him, but we all were suffering from oxygen deprivation. And I don't know whether he kept his speech short enough that people wouldn't fall over before he got to walk out. But I had to wonder, the man's baseline tolerance had to be sky high.
Just to be able to.
Because he was there all day.
Yeah.
He didn't come out.
That's stressful.
Yes, he was all carbon dioxide because we were just exhaling like crazy and we'd used up all the oxygen. He came out, my daughter said, well, you don't look very good. I said, well, there's no oxygen down there and there's no fan. And she started to laugh. She said, only you would figure that out. So, things get really interesting.
I love that.
Okay, I'm going to let you tell it, and this is our last one. I'm
Uh,
going to let you tell about the Impala story.
oh, the Impala in Africa.
We had brought it up.
We were in Zimbabwe, and the animals roam free. The people are contained. And there's a guard with a gun every night who guards the tents because predators can walk through at will. And so this man was here with a gun. It was late. It was dark. And 3 hyenas were chasing a baby impala. And they were closing in. And this baby impala runs into the central area where all our tents are, and this man with the gun. And he runs right to the man with the gun.
Smart kid.
Yes, that was a genius impala because the man with the gun scared away the hyenas. And then a little impala gets up, just like he was saying, thanks, bro, and off you go. I owe you.
Oh my God, I love that. It's amazing things. I mean, suffocating in a tomb isn't one of them. It's amazing to be there, but they should maybe get little fans. I don't know.
Yeah, they should brought him down our own oxygen. We should.
But the Impala, man, you have the most amazing adventure.
Wasn't he smart?
Yeah.
For a little deer, you just don't think they're going to be that clever.
To know of all the places right now, this is where I'll probably be the safest, and to go to the guy, get right next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone, and then the other end was also new. Like, that's a fair zone.
Yep.
I guess the game's over, boys.
Freeze time rate.
Yeah.
See, kids playing that too. Africa, little Impalas. That's
I feel bad though. I was thinking about Lion King, watching that those hyenas had to walk all the way back to the elephant graveyard with nothing. What a long time. It's terrible, guys.
They hadn't been very nice.
But so, guys, like I said, these are just some of the stories that I've been fortunate enough to hear, and these are the only ones that she's been willing to tell you. There's been other stories that she's told me about how even just her fitness alone has helped her complete hikes or do things that other people on the same tour couldn't even do or experience because they didn't even have the fitness. And I'm not going to put anybody's names, but I think that there was a recent trip where even some of her family members, she was able to outpace them, even though she's kind of the head of the family, and they were all just falling behind, and she's just, let's go. Like, that's a big deal. And think about that, how your level of fitness has helped you experience the world, not only your own life, but the actual world. Like, you've been able to put your eyes on things that other people will never see, no matter how long they've walked on this earth. You've been able to actually have that.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Because I could get there.
Yeah.
Huge.
And you're living my dream life. That's my thing. I can't wait to get to a point where all the hard work that I've done since I've been working since I was 12, that I'll have money to go see and do whatever I want. growing up poor, having to make it all on my own, all my education, my homes, my failures are mine, my wins are mine. And all I want to do is see the damn world. I just want to travel, get to a point where I can just do that. That's probably why I work so. Well, that and to get my daughter through college and stuff. That's another big adventure, isn't it? Yeah. College.
All right. Was that
So we're gonna rapid fire now.
We're gonna go on the rapid fire questions. So these rapid fire questions, Candy, these are not anything crazy or hard. We're not here to stomp you.
There's more.
It's going to be
These are fun
stuff like, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite wine? Things like that. I'm not going to put you on the spot though, but it's going to be random trivia questions. So you know what? Do you want to start out with
Let's do. I know you've been all over the world, but what is one of your favorite, most memorable trips with your family that you took inside the U.S.? People might get an idea and go for it.
Does Hawaii count?
Of course, yeah.
I would say Hawaii.
Which island was it?
It was Kauai.
Oh yeah,
it's covered with chickens, but it's really beautiful.
Talk about
Tell us about it.
There's been a hurricane several years ago, and it blew over the chicken coops, and all the chickens escaped into the essentially jungle on Kauai. And now they've reproduced because it's a beautiful environment even for chickens. And they're all over the place. They're in front of the markets. They're on the airport road.
And that's how it has started. Because there was a hurricane that knocked over all the chicken coops.
Yep.
And it caused them to basically just go free. They started
freedom everywhere.
There was so much food they didn't have to go back.
So they just started, wow. And now just how we have like squirrels here, they have chickens just roaming around.
Roaming around, yes. In fact, the merchants at the markets, the open air markets, because we stopped with our family to buy some fruit and stuff. Yeah. They were offering a free soda for anybody who could shoo away the chickens.
Really?
Yeah, they were so upset with me because the chickens were very bold. They know people would feed them and they would come right up. And the merchants didn't want that. They wanted to just sell their wares and not have to deal with chickens.
See, that's why I love these stories with you.
And it was funny. But I really enjoyed that island. It was so beautiful.
So beautiful.
And we could swim in the water and it was warm. A bunch of little fish, and you could snorkel and you could see all the little fish. Because they weren't afraid of people because people fed them. They did.
It's true.
Yeah, those frozen peas.
Like the bears in Taco.
Yeah.
Year round they'll hibernate, and my friend, her neighbor comes out and the mom and the cub are in the woman's jacuzzi. I was like, now we're having spot music. I'm going to take your junky food and then sweat it out of your jacuzzi. It's crazy. Stop feeding the animals. Like now I feel like that sign. Please don't feed the animals. There's a little squirrel right there. He loves cheese puffs or whatever you're feeding them. I don't know.
Stuff. So this is my next question to you then. You've been all over the place. Now, let me ask you this. Is there one place that you refuse to go?
I think hazardous wise, there are countries in Africa I will never see.
Okay. Yeah. That's just based on the research and what you've heard.
Well, it's just there's no barrier to inappropriate behavior.
Lawlessness.
Yes. And there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is be hurt by it. And I don't want me or my grandsons to be hurt by this. I go to places that actually want the tourist dollar.
That makes sense.
Right.
And that's obviously something that people should be more cognizant of, that not everyone has this type of freedom and fun and this lifestyle in mind. There are some people don't know that there is real evil out there.
Yeah.
Savages.
There's a lot of conflict.
Okay.
All right. I didn't want to get all deep and quiet on this, but okay.
I was thinking about, we talked about parts of Africa, the guys with the Was that hyenas on
Yeah,
leashes?
on the chains. Yeah.
On the chains. I still like have vision of that. It scares me sometimes. I've actually had it in my nightmares a few times. Like it gets in your head. You can't unsee that and know what's happening, and you're just like, it's crazy.
I forget something else.
Yeah. All right, well, we're just gonna make it mellow now. Have you been to Italy?
Yes.
Tell me where you went and what you liked about it, because I miss it. I lived through your story.
It was a long time ago, and I went to Rome with my daughter, and we just walked all over the whole city in a week.
Yeah.
And it actually is built on hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good calf workout.
Yes. We didn't take any cabs ever. We made a point to just walk everywhere. And I gave her a map, and away we went.
That's
When was
amazing.
this? How long ago?
Rome.
No, but when? Like how long ago we got to?
2008.
2008.
17 years ago. I only know because Ashley was born here. I don't know how fast it was.
Not that quick.
Not that quick.
It was really nice. The pasta was cheap, and we could eat
It's
that.
not cheap. Good news.
Yeah.
Good news.
That's what we ate. We got a really cheap hotel next to the train tracks.
Nice. You just, yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, and we just walked all over the whole city. We didn't miss a thing.
That's legit.
That's an adventure. I love that.
And I didn't feel unsafe either.
We didn't.
No, there was nothing. I don't know now how it is, but then 2 women alone, we were fine.
You felt completely safe. Everything good to go.
Yeah, and not feel safe in every place.
Let me ask one more question. This doesn't count as my hot seat question. I just want to not count as a hot seat question. So, but okay. Tell us more about. I'm just kind of curious. So, when you did that trip walking, was there any favorite like sites that you saw, or like because Rome's amazing, like
Oh, the Colosseum.
the Colosseum. That
Yes.
for you.
You had to get a ticket to get in, and the machine, and they punched you when you walked in, and the machines weren't working. The guards just looked at your ticket, and we went in 3 times with the same ticket.
Really, I love it. It was that good. You had to go in 3 times.
So damn. Did you guys go down below? I've never been to the very bottom where
We got to look. We didn't get to walk down there.
it's so hard to get into that.
Yes.
It's like winning the lottery when you're there. You're like, come on. And twice that failed, but
I was amazed at the roofing material. They'd roof over a layer, and then they put seats above that.
Yeah.
And that stuff must have been like concrete. I don't know.
crazy strong.
Because they built layers upon layers upon layers.
And it's still.
Still there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
super cool.
All right. Last one. We'll probably end it here. This is the one that I always ask everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna let you go.
No.
You got a hot day. You're all gonna hurt someone. You actually just gallivanting around the town. Now, that said, any person alive or dead, you could sit and have any conversation with, ask them anything you want and talk about anything. Who would that person be? Anybody.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
I would like to see the world through his eyes, how he could see the things he saw and figured out.
Really?
For the life of me, I can't figure them out.
Really?
Yeah.
You would like Jack. That's who Jack said, Albert Einstein. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. He had kind of the same thing to ask him, like, how did he see life?
Yeah. How did he see those things? He had to see them in his mind before he wrote them down.
Clearly, yeah. They don't just happen. It isn't like I'm share. Oh, this is how that works. Well, something has to come up and then it takes place. Very interesting. So Albert Einstein would be the person who you would.
I would.
Okay. I like it.
Love
Do you have anything else for our Lord?
No, thank you for sharing all this. This has been like the highlight of the week. We'll just say the month so far. Let's keep it going.
It's always
That's awesome.
No, like I said, I'll be honest. Like I knew that the health stuff was going to be fun, but I also knew that if we really wanted to, we could have just done a whole episode on you traveling the world and just saying like I started here and I went here.
I love to travel. Yeah.
And I know that we could just you have some stories. I still think about the stories that you told me. So
You should write these down. You should write a book.
Yeah. I'm not seriously.
No, seriously. I mean, We can put my master's in English to use, and I can proofread it for you if you want some help.
And I'm nothing compared to some of the people I've traveled with. They've been to over 60 countries.
Wow.
In my mind, I'm like, there's 60 countries. This is me not remembering stuff.
I think there's 129, but
That's crazy.
they have been to 60 countries.
That's fun. Well, I'm going to have to work 8 days a week and just keep saving and tell Ashley that college isn't in the future. Sorry.
You know, blue collar trades are coming up in the world.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody left to do the things we need done.
Ashley's about to be the first makeup artist and heavy equipment operator. Yeah.
She's all
You know,
losing some stuff.
but I could squeeze you in over the weekend.
My gosh,
Get my hands down.
if anybody can, it would be her too. She never ceases to amaze. So,
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you as always for joining us. Thank you, Candy, for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
As always, keep it classy, San Ramon.